Oh, feels like we've been here before with you, but kind of crazy going into your last spring ball now.
Yeah. This is, I think, number 6. Gosh, it's been a while. It's same energy every single time though. Just super excited to be out here with the guys again, and get it cracking, get back to some good old football.
For you, what's it kind of been like getting to work with your new position coach, Coach Miley, and then new defensive coordinator, Coach Schmedding? What have you kind of learned from them so far? What have your relationships been like with them?
They've been great, just coming in and getting acclimated to the system. Obviously, they're going into our system that Coach Dickert implied not that long ago. So it's a learning curve as well, and there's new techniques to everything. But they've been really patient with us as a defense, and all the new terminology is starting to get home and everything. So I think we're going to see a lot of improvement from day 1 to day 2 and then so forth. So I'm really excited to see what kind of progress we can make.
What were kind of the big things you worked on in the offseason in your own game?
Biggest thing was flexibility and just lower body strength. Having last year as my first kind of off season where I was healthy was huge, and having this one, as well, just kind of get stronger down there and then be more flexible at the top of my rushes and start to turn the edge a little bit better.
You guys in the edge room, you're kind of just as deep as you were last year for the most part. It's the same 5-6 guys with you, RJ, Quinn, Ram, Lawrence, and Eddie. How much do you think that's going to help you guys when it gets to the fall and you have all these guys with plenty of experience? There's no real youngsters anymore until obviously the summer.
Yeah, it's huge just having a group with a lot of depth and experience. Obviously things in football happen, guys go down, but having so many guys with game experience, lessens the blow a little bit. And then also going into practice, there's 5 or 6 coaches out there because everyone knows the technique, what it should look like, what the standard is. So having those guys not being young guys anymore and really being, mature competitors at this point, it's huge for the group and the development of the younger guys that come in.
How would you kind of describe Schmedding's defensive philosophy and maybe how it compares to Dickert's, or how similar they are?
They're very similar. The biggest thing is relentless pursuit and finish to the ball. The biggest thing with all these defenses is that there's no correct scheme that stops every single play. But if everyone's giving 11, all 11 guys are relentlessly pursuing to the ball, you're going to have good things happen. So that's the big thing he's trying to preach to us. And obviously just being more gap sound and, making it easier for the linebackers behind us to, read the fits and everything is huge. But yeah, it's very similar. And then I think the terminology is basically the same, but it's going to be, just a lot more relentless finishing.
I think Dickert mentioned something like 80-20, like 80% the same. Are you seeing that like a 20% schematic change, 20% introduction of a couple of new things?
Yeah, I would say that's probably the correct way to put it. A lot of it too is just new signaling and everything, and then there's a little bit different gap schemes in some plays, but it's not overly different. It's not a complete overhaul by any means, but it's been good. It's been good so far.
Throughout winter camp, I guess, who among the newcomers, the new linebackers or maybe the young D tackles, returning guys have kind of really stood out to you as maybe people that fans wouldn't expect or just new faces?
Yeah, it's only day 1, so I don't have too much on the football aspect of it, but I would say guys to look out for, definitely Devin Richardson, transfer from Texas. He's my roommate now. Great guy, holy man and everything like that. So it's been really cool living with him and getting his perspective on things, coming from a big school like that down to here. And he says it's just the energy here is so electric and different, and just how we work, because here you're not given everything, but you have just enough to what it takes to win as long as you buy in. So that's been great with him. Also, younger guys, I'd say, is Ansel, he's been doing really well. He's one of those guys that came in and already kind of looks like he's been in college for 2 or 3 years. Very mature young kid, and I think he's going to do some great things. And also on the offense side, Carlos as well. He's on team for a Race for the Roses, and he's been doing some great stuff. Very mature for his age. He should be in high school right now. I can't even imagine coming into this kind of competition, at that age. But he's doing great things. I'm just really excited for all the guys to develop over this spring ball.
In this era where, it seems like everybody leaves early or goes to greener pastures or something, what do you think it means for some of the guys, the younger guys, to see you and RJ, guys who have stuck it out, and have really worked to be where you're at and looking to capitalize on one more year?
I think for them it just shows that you don't have to follow what everyone else is doing. I think in today's society people just want to, be followers and don't want to be wolves in that sense and just really pave their own way. I think for us it was really simple to be here. This is the place that kind of grew us up and gave us that culture to be who we are today. And I don't see anywhere else doing the same things, and how much I can develop in this last year is going to be huge for my NFL career potentially, and just, giving back to the university once I leave here because they've given so much to me. So I think that was the big thing we try to tell these guys is understand that when Washington State takes you in, they're giving you a shot to be great, and they're going to give you everything they have to make you that great. So
you've been through, a lot of springs, like you said. In your experience, what does a team have to do to make the most of this pretty short period, before you guys got to, get off the field for a while.
I think competition is the biggest thing. I mean, you have to have guys that want to compete out here, but also understand that in that competition, there's going to be high emotions. Understanding that these are like our teammates. So even if you lose a rep or it doesn't go great, gosh, even today I go through that. You have to understand it's a learning experience, and there's always something to learn from each rep. It's not necessarily a failure. And also don't get mad at your teammate's success. You know what I mean? Like if he's beating you, that's good because that means he's going to be beating somebody on Saturdays. So that's the big thing I try to tell these younger guys is, work as hard as you can, win every rep, but you're going to lose some, but learn from each one of those reps you lose.
And going into, the spring ball, it's no secret, obviously, the depth of this defense. And you guys ranked in, I think, the top 3 or 4 in defense in the Pac-12 last season. How do you want to just elevate that game even more so to make it that much more elite come fall?
We just want to have a really good turnover margin coming into this next year. I think from our drop-off from 2020 and 2022 was in our turnover margin, that we can win games based upon that. Teams that have +3 in the turnover margin win 93% of games. So emphasizing that every day in practice and making sure that we're constantly thinking about the ball in every situation would be huge. Also, we just want to be the top spot, the top defense in the Pac-12. It's a lofty goal, but I think we have the guys here. Actually, I know we have the guys here that can make that happen. So that's just making sure we understand that's our objective, and there's no under that. We have to hit that objective.
Yeah. And finally, I know you mentioned it. I think you said it was your 6th spring ball. Has it kind of really sunk in for you yet? And how do you want to maximize your time, your last spring ball here as a Washington State Cougar?
Take every day for what it is and, don't take it for granted. Obviously, this journey's been fantastic, and I'm just super excited to be back for one more spring ball. But, every day just working the technique, stay on the field as long as I can and get all the stuff in that I can and absorb all the knowledge from the guys around me, even the younger guys. Because, when you're a younger guy, you want to be a sponge of the older guys, but you get into this new day and age, these younger guys coming in are really electric and do a lot of great things. So learning from those guys as well and, the new coaches that we have on staff. So I'm just really excited for this opportunity.
Thank you, Brennan.
Awesome. Hi, Mom.